When original texts are transposed across context and medium, the new adapted text allows us to see the original's ideas in a new light. We are granted new perspectives on the themes and narratives of the mother text, which allow us to appreciate both works more. This new perspective stems from two elements: context, author or narrative, allows us to experience the text through the eyes of another, showing angles of the theme not seen before, and medium allows the story to be told differently, and thus its ideas represented and interpreted differently. The text we'll be looking at is Shakespeare's Macbeth and its 1957 Japanese manifestation Throne of Blood, directed by Akira Kurosawa. Both texts discuss the themes of order and chaos and ambition, yet Throne of Blood, through changes in context and medium, allows us to see these themes in a way not possible through the original text. Macbeth opens with the witches, who chant "Fair is foul and foul is fair." This line and the witches' symbolism of the occult and chaotic establishes a key idea of Macbeth: order and chaos. Scotland is plunged into chaos with Duncan's death, and order is only restored when Macduff kills Macbeth. Throne of Blood, however, alters this theme. The film opens with a foggy field as voices chant about a warrior who was consumed by ambition, finishing "Still his spirit walks, for what once was still is true." The chant is mirrored at the end of the film, making for a cycle. This cyclical symbolism is present throughout the film, where Shizu, Macbeth, and Mickey Banquo are lost in a forest of repeating shots. Mickey's horse careens in circles when it goes mad, and the messengers who tell Suzuki, or Duncan, of his victory tell Washizu of his defeat. Macbeth shows a world where order and chaos are two sides of a coin, where both are absolute and change with no middle ground. In contrast, Throne of Blood shows a world where chaos and order are part of a great wheel constantly being turned by the spirit that prophesies of Washizu's crime. Order is not maintained by God but by society, and as Macbeth sins against God, Washizu sins against society, and like Macbeth is punished by that which he sinned against, as his soldiers turn against him, shooting him to death. The reason for the difference of this interpretation stems mainly from the contrasting context of Macbeth and Throne of Blood's narrative. Whilst both feudal societies, Eastern culture, in particular their interpretation of religion and the supernatural, can vary significantly from the God-fearing world of Macbeth. The religious context of feudal Japan was Buddhist, and the Buddhist concept of Dharma, the wheel of life, partially represents the concept Kurosawa's displayed. We must also consider Kurosawa's concept that Japanese culture is itself very orderly, with strict honorifics and age-based strata employed in all social interactions. Perhaps Kurosawa, as a Japanese filmmaker, found Throne of Blood deeply ironic, and thus better understood the cycle of order and chaos. The portrayal of chaos and order in Macbeth and Throne of Blood transcends their immediate contexts, allowing us to learn from them even today. The world is neither one nor the other, but a constant cycle between the two, and Throne of Blood, through Washizu's demise, teaches us to maintain order through our actions. Ambition is arguably the most significant idea present in Macbeth. This is a fact that holds true for Throne of Blood, as Kurosawa reinterprets and personifies it, allowing us to understand ambition in a new light. Ambition is the reason Macbeth kills Duncan and the driving force behind his demise. We know his ambition is internalized. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair? Ultimately, he would have killed Duncan independent of Lady Macbeth's encouragement. Kurosawa demonstrates the same theme differently, as Washizu was the victim of external ambition. When his future hold of the forest castle is prophesied, he frantically denies it. Enough, it is his lordship's. Washizu, unlike Macbeth, shows no signs of interest in the prophecy. It is Asaji, his wife, who encourages him and enables him to kill Suzuki. Asaji and the spirit are the two characters most heavily influenced by Japanese Noh theatre. They are both shot in the same still and luminous fashion. Their faces reflect the masks Noh performers wear, and Asaji follows an established Noh storyline, Kyojo Mono. Because of this influence, Kurosawa has the spirit and Asaji essentially acting as one through the plot. They are the embodiment of ambition, and they are fully responsible for Washizu's crime. During the murder sequence, Washizu does and says nothing, never agreeing to the plan, and though Asaji makes all the preparations, it is he who kills Suzuki. Only at the end of the film are the effects of ambition shown. Asaji washes her hands of madness, now shot without her still and luminous aura. She is no longer obsessed with ambition, and thus no longer embodies the spirit. Washizu is killed by arrows shot by off-screen bowmen, making for a metaphor. Washizu is killed by ambition. The primary reason behind this new perspective again stems from changing concept, as did chaos and order. However, the different mediums of Throne of Blood and Macbeth also influence this. Kurosawa uses film techniques to great effect to create this, Asaji's personal shot composition being evidence of this. The soliloquies of Macbeth are impractical for the screen, so where Macbeth tells us of his anger and fear, where Shizu dances around, unable to express himself with words. Kurosawa shows us the effect of ambition by separating it entirely from the human element, allowing us to see how it affects us and those around us, yet still empathizes that it's ultimately a human act that results in disaster. Similar to Chaos and Order, this is an idea that transcends the feudal context of both texts, that we can still identify with today. It is inherently human, and it is this human element which results in these texts' continued adaptation and discussion. Macbeth has undergone many adaptations and will be performed for years to come because of its painfully human themes, ambition and chaos and order, among others. Throne of Blood as a manifestation takes these themes and shines a new light on them, which allows us to further appreciate how they are inexorably part of us.